early today.
Hi everybody, welcome to Live.
Hi.
Glad whoever's with us is with us. And today we're going to be talking about our gifts. And because of the
Powers.
Halloween theme, powers, which power do you have? And okay, so gifts. I know this is the season of everybody's starting to think Black Friday, this and that, and gift giving and this and that. But today we're going to put the focus on you and your inner gifts. And the main gift is intuition. Now, everybody has intuition. We all have that gut feeling. We all have experienced the phone ringing and we know who it is, or we're watching a movie and all of a sudden this little voice says, oh, the doorbell's going to ring, and then it really does. Or you think of somebody and then you bump into them. That's part of your intuition. So there's intuition, and then that's like the mothership. And then there's gifts, clairvoyance, seeing things energetically that are really not there, but they are. Clairaudience, hearing, right?
Yeah.
Clairsentient, feeling.
Yep.
Clairaudient, did I say that already? Hearing. But those are gifts that people are born with, they develop, but intuition is something that you more need to be aware of, and then you develop it. So I'm going to give you a couple points on how to develop it once you're ready to admit that you have it. I mean, it's not a scary thing, and it's not a terrible thing, and it doesn't make you a witch.
It's fun now, isn't it? It's fun to think about.
It's really fun to use, to know things and to be aware of things sometimes before they happen, and then you don't have to feel so much like the victim, right?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you everybody for joining us today. And all right, so listening to your intuition is a gut feeling.
Yes.
Turn this way, there's a spot at the end of this row. I don't know why, but I'm making a left here. I'm making a left here instead of a right. I usually make a right, but I'm making a left. Some little hunch tells you to turn the other way, and you just do. There's no resistance. And then you find out that there was a whole backup and construction on the road that you were, going to go on. So we all have it. Some of us just don't pay attention to it, and it can really be quite a gift. Now, intuition should not be confused with memories of things. Like sometimes you think you know something, but you really don't know it. It's just because you're thinking of old things. Okay, so
what about deja vu?
Deja vu. All right, my theory on deja vu is when something happens in your life and it sparks a memory from when you did your plan to come back, and you're actually at one of your crossroads.
Yeah.
That's what I believe that deja vu is.
Yeah, I always feel like I'm in the right place when I have that deja vu.
It's letting you know that you're at the right, it's like an intersection.
Mark.
You just got to an intersection.
Yeah, that's my belief too.
Yeah, and that's a wonderful thing also.
Yeah.
And there's also something that we need when we use our intuition or we practice with our intuition, is that you have to find a balance with your intuition between instinctual response or listening or reasoning. And this has to do with binary beats in the brain, your right side of your brain, your left side of your brain. When you bring them together through meditation or music or certain sounds that bring them together, it brings the right side and the left side of the brain into balance. That's binaural beats. That's what happens, and you find balance. Well, using your intuition and being aware of it brings that balance to your intuition. And it lets you know and actually be more instinctual and acting on your intuition. I read something one day that was really interesting.
I love this topic. I can't even tell you.
It's like
my favorite.
It's the college of inside intuition. You're paying your tuition to your inner wisdom and guidance, which is ancient knowing that we all have. Isn't there something you've ever done and nobody had to sit there and teach you how to do it, but you knew how to do it, but you didn't know how you knew to do it, the more things become more clear that this is not our first time here, it will help you to open up to more of your gifts. Hi, Barb. It will help you to open more of your gifts. Geez, Barb, if we were more intuitive 40-some years ago, we would have known we were on the wrong way on the Atlantic City Expressway. But anyway, so using your gut instincts, your gut is your solar plexus. It's your power center. It's really your center of knowing yourself, knowing things. The gut is also known as your second brain. Your memory is stored here. So, all right, so once you realize that you have this intuition, and if you want to, I'm going to give you 3 ways to really get in touch. Do you want to say something?
No, I'm listening.
You're listening?
I love this. My favorite topic.
Okay. So, all right. So there's 3 ways that I know that I have really been able
I
to
can give examples after you're done.
Yeah, balance and bridge my intuition. And one of the things is spending time alone. Okay. So it connects you to a deeper wisdom, and it also helps you get into a space where your creative thinking is able to expand. And you really do get very creative. Like I have more and more since I don't have Joel Osteen in the car anymore. I've been spending more time in quiet. There's really nothing I want to listen to.
I just said that to Giuseppe like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, unless it's my music or just quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And that time alone, and you're allowing in that quiet for your intuition and those voices to be heard. Yes, that little voices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. All right, but they were your directions. Okay, so the first thing is time alone, quiet. The second thing is meditation and practicing that famous word that has popped up over the last 10 years, mindfulness.
Yes.
And that is really being aware of exactly the moment that you're in right then. And realizing the moment that you're in, and then allowing for ideas and that voice to talk to you about where you are. And it usually gives you a picture or a word or something that lets you know where you're going. And sometimes there's choices that they give you. And then it's left up to you to make that choice. So this is something you want to do like several times a day. Mm-hmm. Stop, take a breath, slow down, get out of your stuff. I'm going to get to something else in a second, but practice stopping and feeling, being in that moment. It really centers you. It really quiets your mind, and it actually rests your whole body. You'll live longer like this, okay? So then you can hear your guidance better. So that's the second thing, mindfulness. The third thing is dealing with being upset. Like, like you're all going, oh yeah, be mindfulness. I'm really like in a lot of drama right now and you want me to be mindfulness. No, learn how to, in that moment of the most stress, practice this. Mm-hmm. Getting to a center for a second, because this is what I say to myself. Is this how I really want to feel? And then I hear my intuition go, no, because you know that you're just in the middle of something that needed to surface to get past. And then here's the options, and they're so much better that if you quiet your mind long enough, get into the moment for a second, turn off your radio, turn off your phones. We're all busy multitasking, and we're all on a digital something, and iPads and iPhones and checking Facebook and doing this. They did a thing this morning on GMA, how they're going to start fining people for texting while they're walking across a busy street, because there have been so many deaths. And so many people but anyway, getting back to, you got to get into a quiet space. You got to find time to disconnect. And even if it means disconnecting from the reality of the drama that's right there, intuition isn't reality. Intuition is a knowing that's past reality and what's actually in front of you in the illusion that we live in right now. Mm-hmm. So being positive at that moment when you feel like you're going to break, being positive, because positive mindsets open us up to receiving that information and that intuition, because we're at a higher vibration where intuition is. If we're feeling negative, then our energy is much lower and much denser, and we can't hear or be aligned with that information. I mean, if you just practice these 3 things,
it's huge.
You know, you'll see for yourself.
We keep saying meditation, but if you can just find a way to get quiet, and I don't know, Giuseppe, that was the 3rd time I heard in probably about 10, 15 minutes about getting quiet and just being. So we just had this huge discussion right before we got started.
Right.
And I was telling him that every day I listen to something on YouTube related to manifesting, or, you know, whatever it is that I'm working on. And today there was nothing. There was nothing that I was looking for. And it was an interesting feeling, because I was like,
that's
settled.
Exciting.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah. Right. And so Giuseppe had the same thing kind of happen to him, and he was like, wait a minute, that's the feeling that I just got today.
And it's very profound.
Right.
When it happens, you feel centered.
It's very centered.
You feel centered.
Yeah.
And don't forget about, practicing bringing white light down and surrounding yourself in it, and really separating from everything that's out here, and, you know, getting into your center.
Yeah.
And, you know, using this wonderful, wonderful gift of knowing that intuition brings with it. We've all, I don't think there's anybody out there that can't say they weren't, you know, guided to a space, or
Yes.
wound up someplace at the time they would never be there. Whether it's like you go to the market and unexpectedly you bump into somebody that you were thinking about, and then there they are, and at the market of all places, like just all these things, you know. I haven't seen a friend of mine for a really long time, and I, because of work, had to go past, you know, someplace where they used to live like 3 times, and boom, all of a sudden bumped into them. I mean, come on, it's out there. It's out there, and use it. Because once you really start listening to it and paying attention to it, your life just gets easier. It doesn't mean you're going to hear everything you want to hear, but that's something you just got to like deal with. And believe me, I'm in it. I'm learning it. Like, we're all in a place where we're, you know, time is moving so quickly and swiftly. You're wondering what's going to happen next, what's going to happen. You know, whatever's going to happen next is going to happen next. But if you want to get there smoothly, like kind of on a magic carpet ride, then, you know, sit back, listen to your intuition, take your time, you know, take time to meditate. I don't think enough people take time to meditate, even if it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes of quiet downtime helps you to get centered. I don't want to hear anything that's going on in somebody's life that you may think somebody else didn't deal with or is dealing with or anything. Nobody's life is not important enough to devote 5 minutes to yourself to really get centered, get quiet, and listen to that inner guidance, that intuition. Start paying it here. Start paying it here. Learn your inner goodness. Learn your inner knowing. It's just, you feel so much more connected to source when you're listening to that. And listen, I've been practicing it more than once every day. I mean, come on. Like, and here's the thing. We all have situations in our life right now. Hi, Emery. Hi, La. We all have situations in our life where we can practice this in every situation. I mean, everything that we're dealing with that may feel like upheaval or may feel stressful, or decision making, and am I really doing the right thing? We all have that couple of minutes where we can just sit back, take that time, be in meditation, get ourselves, to where we let go of any negative old programming, let that intuition in instead. I've
had a couple of
daily
times.
reminder.
A couple of times in the last week or so where things weren't going the way I was expecting them to go, and I almost went into reaction. And instead, I took a breath.
Right, letting go of
I
expectations.
just let it go, and it kind of like almost energetically did like a curve and came back into alignment of what I thought, where I thought it was going. You know, and I also said this to Giuseppe that it was like slow motion. I could actually see it happening as I took the breath. Just okay,
Right.
And I've been more and
And
more
working
in that
itself
mindful
out.
state. Yes, in that, you know, more of, because we almost have an expectation of it going negatively, and that's where my reaction would have gone, and that's when I decided to just take the breath, and like I said, it kind of did a curve and went back into where I expected it to go and how it was going to play out. And that's, you know, a big part of this, like just being able to take a breath, let it go, see what's going to happen, and really have the positive expectation for it in the long run, the
Right.
positive mindset.
Well, that goes back to like always focusing on what you want and not
Yes.
what you don't want.
Yes.
But using your intuition so many times. All right, so I want to teach you something, okay? I know this is really a segue right here, but I'm going to teach you muscle testing, a really simple form that everybody can practice all day. You could be at your desk, nobody's going to know if you're one of those JOBs where you have to be at a desk and somebody's watching you. So watch. You take your dominant hand, you make sure nothing's crossed, not your feet or anything, okay? You're going to access your own knowing by doing this, and it takes practice sometimes. So here's what you're going to do. Take your dominant hand. I'm right-handed.
I'm left-handed.
You're left-handed. You're going to take your thumb and your index finger, and you're going to put them together like this. It's called muscle response testing. You're going to drop your jaw slightly so that your tongue is not touching the roof of your mouth. And when you're ready, I want you to close your eyes so you're not affected by any colors or anything. And you're going to rub your fingers together like this. So you're going to look like this. And you're going to rub your fingers together. And in your mind, not out loud, do not move your jaw. Say to yourself, my name is, and say your name to yourself. And as you're doing this, you're rubbing your fingers together. Keep rubbing. Notice and be aware of the texture in between your fingers while you're doing this. You're saying your name together. You're not moving anything. Once you're comfortable with the texture, I want you to now lie about your name. Say your name is something else. Eyes closed, jaw dropped. Did the texture change?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So smooth is yes, it's the truth. Resistant, sticky is no, it's a lie.
I got that.
So anytime you have a question or you have a choice to make, you can simply make a statement. And I'm going to make this really simple. When I go to eat, when I go and I'm not home eating, when I'm out to eat, I will actually say to myself like this. My body wants soup. My body wants a salad. My body wants fish. My body wants meat. And whatever is smooth, I know that that's like the vegetable, the protein that my body's looking for right then. And guess what? I don't have to think, because I hate making a decision about what I want on a menu. And I usually wait till I'm really hungry to eat, so because I'm busy. But yeah, so this is called muscle response testing. You can look it up on the internet. You can go prove it to yourself. If it was backwards and it was rough when you said your name and it was smooth when you said a lie, let me cover that. It means that your energy in your body is a little bit reversed. So what you want to do is do 3 head circles to the left, 3 complete head circles to the right. Wait about a minute or so and see if that doesn't make it smooth when you tell the truth. Okay. I've been using this and doing this for 20 some years. It's absolutely authentic. It's absolutely scientifically proven. It's like the old dowsers, when the old dowsers used to go on properties and try to find hidden things and all that, and they use the sticks. Yeah. You're doing the same thing, only you're using your fingers. I mean, it's like Discovery Channel. Come on, National Geographic. I can back my stuff up, okay? Yeah. So anyway, so use this. Use this. I mean, there's a way to access your intuition. That's a way to access your inner knowing. That's a way to access your cellular memory, which is part of, your knowing. So anybody that has questions or anything, like, definitely write them in, and We're going to set something up so we can actually have a discussion if you have questions and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to add anything to?
Just, well, my anniversary is tomorrow, so happy 21-year anniversary to Dave.
Okay.
And that'll
Happy
be tomorrow.
anniversary to the two of you.
Happy Halloween to everyone. I just
Happy
love
Halloween.
to celebrate things, right? It's like good to have celebrations. And
It is. Oh, and yeah, on that note, Halloween, okay? I know that it's like get dressed up to candy, but it's really All Hallows Eve, and it
Yes.
is really a holiday where we honor and we honor the dead, we honor those that have moved on and crossed over, and for those of you that don't know it or haven't seen the post, we have a Halloween prayer box in the front of the shop. If you want to come in, write a note to somebody who's crossed over and you just want to let them know their feelings or whatever. Can you do it for my foot? Yes, I will absolutely do that for you, Karen. So I'm going to come over and work on it. So you can come in and write a note to somebody
Thanks,
who's
Karen.
crossed over for closure, for whatever. You want to tell them you love them, even though they can hear you anyway. Sometimes it just feels better to us to actually do the act. So come on in, put it in. Halloween night, I will bring it home and I will put it out on my patio and with sage. And I know there's a couple of people that want to come and join me. You're welcome to. And it's going to be with sage, and I will say a prayer and send the intentions up to those spirit who are waiting to hear from and receiving them. So that's until the 31st, next Tuesday night. And really in lieu of the holidays coming up, I really urge you to stay like calm, not stressed.
Yeah.
Don't make the holidays be something of a stressful time and the hustle and the bustle. And take your time, get through them.
Enjoy them and do something good for somebody. And
The best gift is the gift
be
of
grateful.
love and caring and
gratitude.
and so anyway, we love you very much. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week. And every week we tell you this: if you have a topic you want us to talk about, please let us know, because we're listening and we want to be there for what you need to hear. Okay, we love you. Have a beautiful Wednesday. See you next week.